Kansas City. All right, Patrick Mahomes, the NFL's reigning MVP, is a better player than he was a year ago. Through 3 games, Mahomes is on pace to throw for 6,373 yards, 53 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He's doing it without the services of his most explosive receiver, Tyreek Hill, who was injured early in Week 1. The best player in football looks like Secretariat rounding the final turn at the 1973 Belmont Stakes. The distance between Mahomes and his peers is lengthening. Strangely, the Chiefs are gaining no ground on the reigning Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots. Yesterday, Kansas City ran its record to 3-0 for the 3rd consecutive season. The Chiefs knocked off the previously unbeaten Baltimore Ravens 33-28. I was not impressed, and neither were the Ravens. Baltimore safety Earl Thomas summarized my feelings when he said, "We're going to see them again, and when we see them down the line, we're going to have it." Any boxing historians watching today? Yesterday's Ravens-Chiefs game reminded me of the 1980 brawl in Montreal, Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. In an attempt to quiet the critics who questioned his toughness, Sugar Ray stood toe-to-toe against the man nicknamed Hands of Stone. Bad strategy. Duran pounded Sugar into butter and won a unanimous decision. 4 months later, in a rematch in New Orleans, Sugar Ray returned to his dancing style and made Duran say no mas after 8 rounds. Baltimore coach John Harbaugh tried to be cute on Sunday. He asked Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to go toe-to-toe, point for point, pass for pass with Patrick Mahomes. Bad strategy. Harbaugh went for 2 every 2-point conversion every 4th and short, and kept asking Jackson to throw long. The Ravens danced when they should have played field position football and pounded Kansas City with their running game. Mark Ingram averaged 6 yards per carry and scored 3 touchdowns. His 16 carries were half as many as necessary. Same as a year ago, Kansas City has the worst starting inside linebackers in football, and I'm including all of Division I and a handful of high schools in that statement.
Don't do that.
The Chiefs' soft defense is going to once again nullify Mahomes' brilliance. Football is still football. It's a game of physicality. Defense still wins championships. The Chiefs aren't good enough on defense to win a rematch with the Ravens or beat the Patriots in the postseason. All right, joining the desk now are Fox Sports NFL analyst Tony Gonzalez and TJ Houshmandzadeh. Marcellus, get us rolling.
Yeah.
Were you impressed by the Chiefs on Sunday?
Absolutely. You got to understand, one, give credit to 2 high-level teams playing that same way in that performance yesterday. What I think happens naturally is when you see a team that was great last year and then you have greater expectations for them and you don't see them blow out another team, all of a sudden, what's wrong with this team? Instead of saying, what's right with Lamar Jackson and what's right with the Ravens? So I give both of them teams respect in how they went out there and performed in a tightly contested ball game. You got to look at what happened to the Chiefs before they even stepped on the field. They were without 3 players on every single level. No Tyreek Hill, no Eric Fisher, no Damian Williams. So you're affected offensively already before you even go out there. He needs those guys to be the same team that's going to take a step forward as you expect from last year. So now you look at this team and they go out there and they're playing a team that took them to overtime in this same situation last year with a much lesser quarterback in Lamar Jackson as a rookie. So if you do that calculation, you can realize, oh, the Ravens are really good. And they played very well. Not as well as expected based on game plan. We'll talk about that. But damn, the Chiefs injured, hobbled, still went out there and beat a team that was a playoff team last year. Give credit to both teams, but even more credit to the Chiefs.
I am impressed, and it's sad that the Chiefs are that good that their expectations are here now for everybody. Yeah. When you beat a good Baltimore team, number one, Baltimore defensively, to put 33 points up on them with that defense, and the Chiefs' defense has been bad. You lose Dee Ford, you lose Justin Houston, you add Frank Clark. He hadn't done much. You lose Eric Berry, you add Matthew. So the guys that they lost and the guys, it's a push. Their defense wasn't good last year, so it's no surprise that they're not any good this year. Give Baltimore credit and said, yeah, they went toe-for-toe with them, but they lost. It was at home. It is what it is. But the Chiefs now have set expectations so high that when they win a game in the National Football League, it's like, I'm not really impressed. A win's a
6
win.
yards a carry.
But it don't matter. You can average 12 yards a carry. If I win a game, I don't care.
Okay, you said it right there. A win is a win is a win, and they got it. I don't care what happens, the outcome during the game. Now, there's corrections that you want to make and mistakes you want to go out there and make sure that you don't do that again. But looking at that team, oh, smokes. We're on live television. Okay, go ahead.
We good.
Watch out when he gets you.
We good.
Don't go. Can we keep going?
Yeah.
You make mistakes like this, and it probably won't ever happen again on this show because I'm not going to do it again. But I think Patrick Mahomes, the way he played really, really impressed me, going against a real good defense.
Yeah.
I think that kid right there, you talked about does it hurt his chances and the brilliance of him. If anything, having a weaker defense means you're going to get more opportunities when you're out there. Thank you so much. When you're out there playing. And I think right now you're going to see those MVP-type numbers come up again. He could have 50 touchdowns again because of that defense. Now, you put a good defense out there, he's not going to be asked to do as much. So, as a fan, at least I get to see more Patrick Mahomes and go out there and play some ball.
As a fan, I want to see the Chiefs play in the postseason and win, and that defense not good enough against the Baltimore. Look, I really think Earl Thomas really believes that. Like, we should have made this a street fight. We're more physical than they are. That's a soft team. We got out of character and tried to go toe for toe with a team that we should have taken to the ground and just wrestled with them because the Chiefs' defense just can't handle it. They should have fed Mark Ingram the ball 25 times. I hate to say it. They should have run Lamar Jackson 12 to 15 times. I felt like the moment was a little too big for Lamar, and so he was a little bit off with his passing. They should have leaned on that running game, beat up the Chiefs, and I just don't see the Chiefs having an answer defensively.
Wrong. I love me some Earl Thomas. Respect. But I'm never a fan of a dude who just lost a ball game tomorrow. We got y'all next time. We just did 60 minutes, bro. You want 61 right now? Like, this whole forecast. Guess what? You're going to make adjustments, and you're going to be better. They are, too. So we don't know how that's going to play. It sounds great. It gets people excited at home. Ooh, next time. We just had a time, and they didn't go
Sugar Ray took 4 months, came right back in the ring. He knew he did the wrong thing.
And he made him quit.
Yeah, but you know what? You're making my point in this respect. It's not just how you play the game, it's when you play your cards in that same game. Think about this. This is a team that lost to them last year with a lesser quarterback, lesser team, Baltimore, on the road during the regular season. Then this year, you're playing the same team. What do you have in the bank? Which cards you know are your big jokers? You know you got you a defense. You know that, and you know you got your running game. And if you've been looking at Lamar Jackson every single week, he's been trending up in passes attempted. So last week was 37. This week, they say, let's go 43. We want to see how much of this playbook we could unveil against the best. Because what does everyone up here say when they look good against Miami? When they look good against Arizona? Y'all ain't played nobody. So if I know I got insurance policies with defense and running game, when I play the best, I want to see Lamar Jackson. I may make him go ahead of his skis, a little too in front of his skis, just to calibrate. So when I see you next time, like Earl Thomas is saying, when it really counts, oh, we got this thing corrected. So I respect their game plan. You got to see what Lamar Jackson could do in no surroundings against that team, because when it's bad weather in the playoffs, you think they're going to throw it 43 times?
You're making my point. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to survive that brawl come January. I think the Patriots and or Baltimore or any team that just commits to the running game is going to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines and make the Chiefs exit the playoffs sooner than I would like.
People keep forgetting the Chiefs' most explosive player didn't play, and they still won the game.
That's what I'm saying.
So when your best offensive player outside of Patrick Mahomes doesn't play and you still win the game, it's Andy Reid.
Whoa. Patrick Mahomes is their most explosive player. Continue.
He said next. He said second.
Next.
Oh, you said, oh,
Yeah,
Oh, you hot up here. That's what we doing. That's what we doing up here.
No, but Andy Reid is, in my opinion, from the time I can remember football, he's probably the best offensive play caller in the history of football. He's so, and people, these young guys, they watching his playbook and they're watching their games and copying and mimicking what he's doing with all the creativity. He's going to make adjustments. And so whatever
on
the Ravens...
On the offensive side.
On the offensive side. And
that's the
Kansas
problem.
City is an offensive team.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're going to win games with our offense, defense. Just keep us in it. And they've shown that. They've shown that's an effective way to get it done.
You remember 2003, our team out there with Priest Holmes and all those guys.
Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil. We went to the playoff. We started out 9-0. We had the worst defense in the NFL, and we had the best #1 offense, highest scoring offense. And we went to the playoffs and got beat by Peyton Manning. Nobody punted in the game. This defense is better than that defense that we had. Just like you just said right there, that defense can just keep it around 15 to 20th ranked. They're going to outscore people. Just like last year, I know the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl and they went to, but that game that they lost, they had that game. The guy didn't line up in the backfield on that one play where they threw it to Gronkowski. The game was over. It was intercepted. They should have won that game, in my opinion. They could do that again. They could ride this offense, high-caliber offense, with even a better Patrick Mahomes this year than he was last year. I believe they can take it all the way to the final game.
So y'all don't believe defense wins championship? The cliche?
No. In this case, no.
No, I don't believe that.
Just don't be terrible. Just be competent. Just be okay, and they can do it.
No, I don't believe that. We talked about it last week. The Rams last year had a 19th ranked defense in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs right now, before this game, 19th ranked defense can be in the Super Bowl. If you talk about who was in the Super Bowl, and they're going against the New England Patriots, who had their defensive struggles early last year. We were writing them off. You can fix this. This is a team right now that is going to be supremely confident in the Chiefs because they're missing assets and still looking great. It's just the expectations are so high right now, it doesn't land the same.
It's mind-blowing to me that Bill Belichick can have dominated the NFL for 20 years. 20 years, 9 Super Bowls, 6 titles. And we still think Sean McVay, Andy Reid, one of these other guys on the offensive side that are the gurus, somehow are better than the defensive genius. It doesn't compute to me. Defense still wins championships. The New England Patriots, defense hasn't given up a touchdown all season. John Harbaugh and that defense is going to get better. I thought they made some errors and took, a couple of... That game was very fluky. And look, I'm a Chiefs fan, and I certainly, Patrick Mahomes, again, he's the best player I've ever seen maybe in my life. But they had to get lucky. That holding call on Willie Snead was bogus and BS. And again, I know they had some luck, too. Lamar got away with a couple of long passes that he shouldn't have. But I'm sitting here in January, and I've seen this before. I've been watching the Chiefs closely since 1994. I've just seen they've never had a balance, ever. At one time under Derek Thomas and Neil Smith, it was the defense that carried the team. Then they brought in Dick Vermeil, and it was the offense that carried the team. The Chiefs are never in balance. They never play complementary football. They're always dependent on one side of the ball to win the game for them. And in the postseason, and it just doesn't work.
Damn you, jaded. It's okay. Mahomes, he didn't play in 94. Andy Reid wasn't there in 94. The Patriots' first 3 Super Bowls, it was lopsided. All defense. Tom Brady was trying to figure out... Bruh, played against him. Yeah, that was all defense. Remember, you want to have Mangini come up here and talk about early Tom Brady? Do y'all want to do this? And it's unfair to just say the rankings have been lopsided before for champions. The St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis Rams, you can say that one right there. That was the greatest show on turf, and they still went there and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so it could be lopsided.
One Super Bowl.
Yeah, it could be lopsided.
Belichick's won 6.
Yeah.
All right, Darnell.